First written mentions of Bydgoszcz, or Bydgoszcz as it was called back then, can be traced back to 1238, although the area is thought to be established even earlier, in the 11th century. The city was founded on 19th of April 1346 by one of the greatest rulers of the Piast dynasty, Kazimierz the Great. Because of its important location on Brda River, it became a very important trading point, and it remains this way till today. Hi, my name is Damian Urbańczyk, and in this episode of Checkout Time, I'm going to show you the city of Bydgoszcz. Bydgoszcz is associated with trade. Trade is associated with money, so no wonder that in this city a mint was established in 1594.
The mint in Bydgoszcz began operating at the end of the 16th century, and for most of the following century it remained in Bydgoszcz, producing, because that is the word we can use, coins that were used not only in Poland, but throughout Europe at the time.
Was it an important place for Polish economy?
It was a very important place for the Polish economy, because for a short period, it was the only royal mint. This means that, at that time, coins were minted exclusively in Bydgoszcz.
Did existence of this mint influence somehow trade in Bydgoszcz?
The presence of the mint in Bydgoszcz had a significant impact on how the city developed and evolved. Trade played a crucial role in our city's history, partly because Bydgoszcz was excellently located in terms of waterways. We had the Brda River here, and the Vistula River was not too far away. For centuries, goods were transported via the Vistula, so waterways played a major role in both the city's economy and the mint's operations.
Do you know the song Money Makes the World Go Round from Cabaret of Bob Fosse? A mark, a yen, a buck, a pound is all that makes the world go round. It is so true. And this museum, where in the 16th century a significant royal mint was established, is a proof that Bydgoszcz then was a crucial point on the map of trade. Why did someone decide to establish a mint in Bydgoszcz? Because it sounds like an habilitation.
In addition to trade, another key factor was that Bydgoszcz eventually became a major urban centre in the north. The construction of the Bydgoszcz Canal and later the railway line connecting Berlin with Gdansk and Kaliningrad made Bydgoszcz an extremely important transportation hub. Just like in the 16th and 17th centuries, significant amounts of goods continued to pass through the city. Increasingly wealthy individuals settled here, the city flourished, and industry developed.
The Bydgoszcz treasure is the history of people living centuries ago, reflected in objects. It is the history of their creators, owners, and users. And looking at them, I wonder what will future generations think of us after examining things we will have left them. treasure of Bydgoszcz. Let's go there. What was it? Where was it discovered? And how was it discovered?
In January 2018, so already some years ago now, archaeological work was carried out at Bydgoszcz Cathedral. One of the city's most renowned archaeologists, Robert Grochowski, discovered beneath the floor in the presbytery, or the main part of the church near the altar, a treasure. He immediately realized that what he had found was something truly extraordinary. It turned out to be a treasure consisting of 486 gold coins, of pure gold, one might say.
Since Bydgoszcz was an international trading point, I would expect international coins there, am I right?
The Bydgoszcz treasure is not just a collection of accumulated savings. The preserved coins show clear signs of a careful selection. We have coins from virtually all of Europe, reflecting the complex monetary system of that era. The Polish Republic was a multicultural state at the time, and Bydgoszcz was similarly diverse.
Multikulturowa, byśmy mogli powiedzieć. No i taka też była Bydgoszcz.
A visit in any museum can be treated like an essential lesson about our past. But in Bydgoszcz, you can learn more about our history just walking around the city and paying attention to buildings. Exchanging goods, also known as trade, can provide you with a lot of money. And money can give you power, strength, and freedom. And this bird, an eagle, also symbolizes those three things. So no wonder we're going to carry on with our episode to the hotel under an eagle. I'm sure that you're familiar with the name of Caesar Ritz. He was the king of hoteliers and the hotelier of the kings. He was born and raised in Switzerland, which then was considered to be the cradle of the great hotel industry. No wonder that Emil Bernhard, the son of the owner of this property, went to Switzerland to learn more about this demanding hospitality business. Later, he decided to come back and open a hotel in Bydgoszcz. Exchange of goods, which is also known as trade, was of crucial importance here. People coming here and people passing through Bydgoszcz needed places to stay.
The property at Gdańska 14 is an excellently located spot in the city. On one side, it's very close to the river, where the granaries stood and goods were transshipped. On the other side, Gdańska 14 marks the beginning of the road from Bydgoszcz to Gdańsk, making it a perfect location for building a hotel. When carpenter Gliszczynski built the Gasthaus zum Adler, he understood something else very well. A traveller is always a bit anxious, always in a state of unease.
Selling and buying things require a lot of energy, because trade is a very tumultuous business. So after all is said and done, you need a place where you can simply unwind, relax, and chill. And it was the main idea behind creating this hotel. Central location, sumptuous design, and impressive spaces. That must have been something for someone who entered this hotel in the 19th century, because 13 decades went by and it still makes a statement.
Another advantage of this location is its proximity to the municipal theatre. The theatre, which has been operating since the 1920s and was rebuilt in the late 19th century, attracted artists and spectators who would then come to the hotel. Why? To release their emotions. If there's a good restaurant, they will let their emotions flow, engaging in passionate discussions about the play.
Bydgoszcz was called ein klein Berlin, a little Berlin, and it shared passion for great architecture and entertainment with its bigger and older brother. Many famous artists from all around the world would come here to perform and to stay in this hotel. So I can imagine Hanka Ordonówna coming here and walking up this staircase, humming a szlagwort from her film Spy in the Mask. Miłość ci wszystko wybaczy. Love will forgive you everything. This building is one of the most well-known landmarks of Bydgoszcz.
The hotel became an oasis for artists. It was home to the Club of the Angular Table, a meeting place for local journalists and artists who debated until dawn. Theatre artists gathered here, and so did the most distinguished guests.
Who are they?
For example, Józef Piłsudski stayed here in the 1920s when he came to inspect local landowners, assessing the readiness of their stables and meadows in case of war.
This beautiful white grand piano, which Arthur Rubinstein used to play, is a perfect reminder of this room's past. The Rosebery Hall is a place where the most beautiful and lavish feasts were organized, and the most incredible gatherings. Right now, you can throw here a ball. For example, a ball for fans of Hotel pod Orłem. Would you say that this building is one of the best known in Bydgoszcz?
I believe it is indeed the most beautiful building, one that captures attention with its location, magnificent facade, and interior, which captivates the soul of anyone who steps inside, anyone who expects true luxury.
I oczekuje ten ktoś tego właśnie luksusu.
What I love about these historical hotels is the fact that in my deluded mind, I can transform into a totally different person. Like right now, I am a powerful and rich person from the 19th century strutting down the stairs in order to either save the world or destroy it. I don't know yet. How long have you been working here?
4 years at this hotel, 7 years in the hotel group.
What was your first impression when you entered this hotel?
When I learned that I would have the pleasure of managing this hotel, beyond the feeling of excitement, I also felt a great sense of responsibility, because this is a landmark in Bydgoszcz. It is an architectural gem of the city, and I felt the duty to give back to the people of Bydgoszcz by taking care of this place and keeping it in perfect condition. This is a historic building with a soul, attracting guests who are different from those at other hotels. People come specifically for this hotel, and everything else is an added bonus.
This is something that you won't get in the modern, newly built hotels, because this tissue is saturated with history, with many people who lived here, who performed here, who are part of this hotel.
I don't think there's a single person in this beautiful city who hasn't had some kind of event here, be it a high school prom, a party, a ball, or a wedding. As a result, we have guests who keep coming back, but there are also those who visit because of the notable figures who stayed here: Piłsudski, Rubinstein, Jeremy Przybora, Daniel Olbryski. Many great personalities have stayed with us. As employees, as a team, we are fully aware of this. And as I keep saying, we feel both a sense of responsibility and immense pride that we can continue the legacy of this place.
Flamboyant and entertaining nature of Hotel pod Orłem can be reflected in a number of venues where you can have fun. For example, this column hall has always been a place where you could organize the most beautiful balls. Right now, it is called Gdańska 14, and it shows the connection of Bydgoszcz with the city of Gdańsk. Oh, fun fact, this hotel during the Second World War was called Danzigerhof. So you, as a GM, you've been working here for 4 years. How would you like your name to be placed here? What would you like to create in this hotel?
Focus Premium Pod Orłem has been its official name since 2017. I would like to preserve the heritage and respect for this place. Every day, we strive to maintain this gem, ensuring it remains in excellent condition and continues to serve both the residents and our guests.
This hotel is a living proof that if you put your heart, soul and mind into something, it will last forever. Because the grandeur of the 19th century hotel is still present in the 21st century. And I'm buying it 100%. Over a span of 50 years in the 19th century, Bydgoszcz developed into a modern city. The impetus for its enormous growth was the establishment of the Prussian Eastern Railway in 1851 and the Bydgoszcz Canal, which had been operating since 1774. Goods like grain were brought here, and buildings like granaries or mills were erected into the silhouette of the city. I would say, come to think about it, that Bydgoszcz was built with grain, flour and trade.
Well, that's right, because grain was like the second most important product. Even still that it was like massive production here, wood was number one, I think. And railway, of course, but here the transport was not by railway connection, but by barges. The opening of the canal was really important for us in that part of Mill Island, because Mill Island was really like divided into 3 parts.
Nothing is softer and more flexible than water, and yet nothing can resist it, because water is the driving force of all nature. And it is Bydgoszcz's spiritus movens, because the impact the opening of the Bydgoszcz Channel had on the city was unparalleled. And the influence of water is present also in this mill, especially in the Noc exhibition showing the history of Bydgoszcz. So then we go a bit further to 1851, where water mills were opened. What was the idea behind it?
The idea was to even progress, even develop the grain production, and to develop Bydgoszcz, of course, and to create a new, really impressive building in the American style.
What was the history of this mill later on?
This mill operated until the end of the Second World War. Then it came like the end of the production. So we were like one of the biggest magazines, not any more mills. So grain was brought here, was bought, was examined, was researched, is it in the right condition, and sent to the other mills to be grinded.
In the best years, how many people would work here?
To operate fully this enormous building, there was enough of 11 people at one shift. Of course, they work in shifts, so there were many more employed, but only 11 people in here was able to make this everything in motion. There was idea to create one of the newest, one of the biggest and very modern building. So it wasn't necessary to have many people in here.
Walking around the heart of the Rotter's mill, I keep on thinking about people who used to work here decades ago, making flour and producing food. And although the mill stopped serving its purpose a long time ago, the owners decided to make it food for thought. Nowadays, visitors in an interactive way can learn about the history of this place to preserve it for the future generations. So, in the 21st century, what is nestled here?
Since the renovation and still since the opening of the building, it has completely changed. So, for example, right now we have 3 permanent exhibitions. We have 4 gastronomy points. We have temporary exhibitions as well. We've got events, conferences, even World Colors Conference that's going to be held in USA this year was here last year. We create space for public use, but we also have a place where you can just enter and enjoy the space, meet with your friends, come for a coffee, go to the viewpoint. This is admission free, for example, enjoy the view. So it's a drastic change.
In any given time, we have 2 options. We can take a step forward into growth or take a step back into safety. And Bydgoszcz has never played the safety card, thus becoming one of the most vibrant cities in Poland. See you next time.